In ancient Egypt, during the era of the pharaohs, there lived a girl named Nefertari, whose beauty was unparalleled. Her long, flowing hair, which cascaded like a river of gold, was the envy of all women in the region. The pharaoh himself, intrigued by her striking appearance and pure spirit, fell deeply in love with her. However, Nefertari's heart belonged to a humble farmer named Ammonius, whose simplicity and kindness had won her affection. The pharaoh, determined to possess Nefertari for himself, tried every possible means to force her into marriage. Despite his lavish gifts and grand promises, she remained steadfast in her refusal. In desperation, he resorted to threats, declaring that if she did not relent, he would have her elderly father executed. The fear of losing her father drove Nefertari to the brink of surrender, but before she could act, her father succumbed to the plague that ravaged the land. Nefertari, now bereft of her father, was imprisoned in the pharaoh's opulent palace. Her once beautiful world had turned into a prison of opulence and oppression. The pharaoh, still infatuated, could not understand why Nefertari refused him. In a fit of rage, he demanded to know the reason for her rejection. Nefertari, heartbroken but defiant, confessed that her love was reserved for a simple farmer, but she kept his identity a secret for fear of his wrath. Enraged by this revelation, the pharaoh ordered the arrest of all young male farmers in the region, intending to force Nefertari into submission by threatening the life of her beloved. The beautiful captive, horrified by the possibility of her lover being harmed, decided to agree to the pharaoh's proposal. She stipulated that the release of the imprisoned farmers and the anonymity of her lover must be guaranteed. The pharaoh, seeing Nefertari's capitulation as a triumph, agreed to her terms. An extravagant wedding was arranged, and the city was abuzz with preparations for the grand celebration. Nefertari, despite her heartache, was forced to don the most exquisite garments and adornments, her beauty highlighted even more against the backdrop of her sorrow. As the wedding ceremony commenced, the guests marveled at the opulence surrounding them. Yet, in the midst of the festivities, a bold figure emerged from the crowd. It was Ammonius, the humble farmer, who had dared to challenge the pharaoh's authority. With unwavering courage, he advanced towards the wedding procession, seizing Nefertari's hand and pulling her away from the pharaoh's side. The pharaoh's fury was uncontrollable. He roared for his guards to seize Ammonius and prepare him for execution. As the soldiers surrounded Ammonius, the brave farmer fought valiantly against them, despite being outnumbered. Nefertari, witnessing the chaos, broke into tears and fell to her knees before the pharaoh. She pleaded for mercy, promising to be the pharaoh's loyal wife forever if he spared Ammonius. Her cries of anguish and the sight of her pleading eyes softened the hearts of some. But the pharaoh, blinded by rage and wounded pride, remained unmoved. Ammonius continued to battle the guards with unrelenting resolve, his love for Nefertari giving him strength. As the battle raged on, the pharaoh's anger began to wane. He saw the depth of Nefertari's love and the bravery of Ammonius, which stirred something within him. With a mix of grudging respect and newfound empathy, he hesitated, his resolve faltering. In a dramatic turn of events, Nefertari's pleas and Ammonius' relentless bravery swayed the pharaoh's decision. Reluctantly, he ordered his guards to stand down. Ammonius, though injured, was spared, and the pharaoh, though still furious, allowed Nefertari and Ammonius to be together. The pharaoh's final decree was that Nefertari and Ammonius would be allowed to live in peace, far from the opulence and oppression of the palace. Their love, which had endured so much, was now free to flourish. The pharaoh, though defeated, was left to reflect on the power of true love and the cost of his own arrogance. In the end, Nefertari and Ammonius found solace in each other's arms, their love triumphant over the pharaoh's tyranny. They lived their lives in quiet happiness, their story becoming a legend that spoke of courage, love, and the ultimate price of freedom.